So we've been reporting, and you've just been hearing, the 82-year-old aviator Wally Funk was amongst the crew. She trained to be an astronaut in the 1960s and denied the opportunity to travel to space because of her gender. Her enthusiasm remained undimmed.
I loved it, and I loved being here with all of you and your family and the four of us. We had a great time. It was wonderful.
True.
I want to go again, fast. And then, when I got off the ship, they gave me the tail end of one of the balloons, and I'm going to cherish that forever.
Dr. Mae Jemison knows a thing or two about the creating history. First black woman in space, and she joins me now from Houston. I think that she was the star, wasn't she? She may not have paid the bill, but the fact that she was able to achieve her ambition in that sense makes her so significant. As you watched today, what did you make of it?
So as I thought I saw a great launch. And I also saw wonderful engineering, and I saw us moving along what I believe is actually a continuum of human space exploration. And I say that because what we saw with Wally Funk was someone who was tested with 12 other women, the Mercury 13, in the early 60s, with the same test the men had the right stuff, in fact, did as well or better than the men did. But because of their gender, they were not allowed to go. In fact, Lyndon Johnson, who was a big advocate of civil rights, could stop this now. So what we see is that we're moving along and going further.
While you continue to
This idea, I want to get your perspective on this idea that everybody says, you know, Bezos said it, Branson said it, that you see space and you see the fragility of the Earth, etc. Is that true? Is there a different perspective with which you return?
Well, I think everybody sort of sees what they take up with them from their background. When I looked at the Earth, I saw this wonderful planet with this thin blue layer of atmosphere, but I saw the robustness and the resilience of the Earth. It can be harmed, though. It can be harmed in such a way that it doesn't support our life form. And the height of human arrogance is when we think it's all about us and it's not about other things. So when I think the perspective that I received wasn't that there were no borders and boundaries on Earth. I never thought that. I was more connected with the rest of the universe, and I recognized that we are not the end-all, be-all, but we have a role to play.
Was there a moment when your rocket took off? Was there a moment? I know you train up the wazoo, and you're ready, and it's highly trained, particularly in the case of NASA astronauts. Were you ever nervous?
Well, of course you're nervous. You're sitting on tons of high explosives. You're going on a journey that, for me, I grew up on the south side of Chicago wanting to be a part of. And not only was I the first African-American or the first black woman in space, I was the first woman of color in the entire world to go into space, which to me was something that we should have done years ago. So yes, there was an anticipation. But you know, Richard, I really want to get to something that I have been hearing people talk about in relationship to this launch, and I think it's really incumbent upon us to understand the context in which this launch took place. Right now, there are people on the International Space Station doing remarkable research in science. In February, 3 probes from the Earth entered Martian orbit from 3 different countries. Voyager is outside of our solar system. We're looking at exoplanets outside of our solar system. So this is a continuum. What's exciting about it is, yes, we have private industry building spacecraft for humans, but we have to put this in the context that they're building on a lot of the knowledge and the capabilities and the capacity that we as taxpayers, not just Amazon customers, but we as taxpayers already did, right?
Very good point. And thank you for reminding us all the little things that are now trolling around on Mars, taking pictures, bringing us back pictures, all the people like yourself who did wonderful work. Thank you. I appreciate your time with us tonight. Thank you for joining us.